Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with Spellbinders there's always so many, but this just adds to their beautiful collections that has recently been released, and this one is called 'Tis the Season. So I'm actually showing 3 die sets here. So this one here is called Create a Christmas Sentiment. So these, of course, are die cut sentiments, and the words are warm, wishes, Christmas, merry, greetings, holidays, and happy. And yes, some of these were upside down and I was still able to read them. This one here is called Holiday Decorations. So we've got some great ornament toppers. Here are our ornaments, some snowflakes, and some stars. And then this one here, so when we come over here so you can see the dividing line here, this one here is called Christmas Blooms. So we've got some great greeneries, some poinsettias, a pine cone, that's a 2-layer, and I don't know what these are called. These are like little flowers that you can make as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to, of course, make a card, but then I'm going to show you another project where we can continue to stretch our dies when it comes to these pieces here. So we're going to show a couple different projects. So let's get started. I'm going to switch over to a voiceover and let's have some fun. Okay, let's get started on our projects. So as always, I do all my die cutting off camera because die cutting does take some time. Depending upon the image that you are die cutting or the images, the die cutting could actually be more than the project that you're putting together. But again, that's all in our creations and how we put all of this paper together to create what we're looking to create. So here in this die set, now this die set is called, and of course I'm going to be grabbing my papers here. This die set is called the Holiday Decorations. So what's nice with this die is when you cut the ornaments, you're getting 3 ornaments. So you have the strip of the teardrop, the strip of the round, you have some stars, and you also have some snowflakes. So each time you're getting 3 of those images. Now, what's also nice is you can, layer these images. Layer the circle on top of the teardrop. That'll give it some dimension. I chose to keep mine flat. It has 2 different toppers, one of course for the round and one of course for the teardrop. Now what I'm also using is of course that Create a Christmas Sentiment. I am loving this die set. I do enjoy die cutting, and to me die cutting a sentiment is sometimes quicker. Sometimes. But I love this one because you can build it. You can say happy wishes, you can say warm wishes, you can say holiday wishes, greeting wishes, happy holidays, merry holidays. So, I mean, you can just create what you want your sentiment to say. I do enjoy the traditional sentiments, but I do like, happy Christmas. I do like happy merry. I do like, merry holidays, because they are different and they have the same meaning. So have fun with it. That's what this is about. I'm now setting these pieces and arranging them on my cardstock. Now this panel is cut to be 4 1/4 by 4 by 5 1/4. All right, so it's a little bit smaller. I am having some of these ornaments go off the edge. That just, for me, shows movement, keeps the pattern continuing, or you could cut them off when it came to the white panel. There will be some trimming that I do, but I'll show you that in a minute. So again, just placing these around, making sure that the colors are not kind of next to each other. And again, I used non-traditional colors. I used teals, I used aquas, I used lime green, although I love lime green and red together and white. It's absolutely awesome for Christmas. Again, it's different. Yes, when I think of Christmas, I do think of the traditional red, the green, and the white. I also throw a brown in there, you know, like a craft color as well. But, you know, why can't we go into the pinks and the grays and the lime greens and those bright reds, the blues, the aquas? Why not? It's not written anywhere. So therefore we shall do it, right? Again, let's enjoy. Why can't we? I love the look of black, silver, gold, and red. All four of those put together. It's absolutely beautiful. It's elegant. Okay, back to the card. So now I'm using my double-sided foam squares. I'm using my wax pencil to pick up those pieces and get them down on this panel. Once we were done, again, I wanted them raised. Again, just for that dimension. I've got two pieces of cardstock, a red and a brown. The red is cut to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and that brown was cut to be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So that's why I have those thin borders. I am now going to flip over that card panel and trim off any of the ornaments that are coming off of that. Only one did. But again, it shows that movement. I'm coming in now with my sparkle pen by Spectrum Noir, and I'm just adding some glitter right onto that. Just to give it a little bit of sparkle, add to the mirror cardstock when it comes to that. You know, it'd be beautiful with a branch coming right across and all of these ornaments hanging off. You could add string. So, kind of cool, kind of cool. I'm going to use my liquid adhesives and put this down on my standard A2 size card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is a top folding card base. And that is our first project. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that card, but now what else could we possibly do with these dies? And what I mean by that is you can continue to create your cards if that's what you're looking to do. But what other items could we possibly make as well? It doesn't always just have to be cards, especially for the holidays. There's always something that we've got to create. And I automatically think of two things: place cards and tags. Because you can't have enough tags. I love tags. Tags are awesome. But place cards are good too, especially for this year. I am sure the #1 thing that is going to be planned of who's going where and at what time should they be there. I also believe that people are not just going to go for the day, they're going to camp in, which I think is wonderful. So these are the other things that we're going to make. Now, what I wanted to do, and the reason why I came back in off of the voiceover, is to show you how I've cut down this 8 1/2 by 11 piece of cardstock. I have a total of 8 items here. These 4 up here are going to be tags. These 2 here are going to be tags. And these 2 here are going to be place cards. So let's go over the measurements and then we'll switch over. So these 2 here were cut to be 4 inches by 5 inches. So 4 inches by 5 inches, and they are scored at 2 1/2 along the 5-inch line. And there are 2 of them. So from the 8 1/2 by 11 piece of paper, I cut a 4-inch strip and I cut another 4-inch strip. From that 4-inch strip, I cut 5 inches, which gave me this, and again, it is scored at 2 1/2. I did that twice. I then had this piece up here, which was 3 1/2 inches by 4 inches. So 4 inches by 3 1/2. What I did was I kept the 4 inches and I cut it at 1 3/4, which then gave me these 2. So these are going to be nice skinny tags, and then I was able to cut 2 more. For this last strip that I had, this measured 3 inches, which would make sense because 4 plus 4 is 8, And if you add 3, that brings us to the 11. So I took this strip and I just cut it in half. So this measures 3 inches by 4 1/4. So 3 inches by 4 1/4. And that gave me 2 more pieces. So that's going to be 2 more larger tags. So from one sheet of cardstock, I have 2 pieces to create place cards. Now you don't have to make yours as big as mine. They can be smaller so you can get more out of there. But then I also have 6 tags that I will be able to create with. So let's get started and let's see how we can make these beautiful and set our holiday table and accent our gifts. Why not? It'll be fun. Huge fan here of making tags, those small items, and sometimes those items that we forget. But tags, I could always make a tag. Don't get me wrong, I love making cards. I really do, but I just think tags are awesome. Tags are like an ornament, and that's the other thing that I could make. You know, my channel, I should just have ornaments and tags. I know people will get upset, but the same things that we use for our cards can be used and stretched for other items when it comes. So when you make a card, make a tag. And that's sometimes what I try to do. And again, I do that off camera because, you know, my sister expects a box every year for Christmas. I started it one year and she gets all excited. And if she doesn't get that box, she gets upset. Wow, it's like huge. It's amazing. Okay, so I have 2 different style tags. All right, I have a skinny one and I kind of have a more chunkier one. So why not? We can make our tags any size that we want. Now, I also have been known to make a double layer tag, especially if I'm using that for my card. I chose here to just make a 1 layer tag here. And the main reason why I did is because we cut these ourselves. Okay, we didn't use a die. We didn't use, well, basically, we just didn't use a die. And look, we all have tag dies, possibly, that you could definitely use. Now, what I do find, though, when I die cut, and I know there's ways to flatten it out. Again, I am a lazy crafter. I want to get to it, and I want to get going. So when I run that through the die, I mean, I will hold on to my plates. I don't keep changing my plates. I don't remember to put a piece of copy paper underneath it to keep it smooth. So there's a lot of texture on the back of my items when I die cut, which, okay, we all have that, and that's okay. So I'll usually do a double layer when I do the die, because then I have a smooth surface to write on, to say to and from, if I'm not putting it on the front. Okay, real quick, back to the card. So I've got my sentiments, I've got warm wishes, I got merry greetings, I got Christmas wishes, and I got merry holidays. So now I've just got all of these greens. I've got holly leaves, I've got pine leaves, I've got those different looking oval shaped leaves. I don't know what they're called. And now I'm just having fun placing them on 3 of these items. So 2 of the tags and 1 of the place cards that we are creating. Just having fun laying them out. I'm now grabbing my snowflakes and I'm going to have those laid out. And again, I went with blues, teals, aquas, gold, and silver. Beautiful colors that always will go together. And I'm just laying those out. And then I'll be laying those down with my liquid adhesive to get those in place. Now, hopefully I'll remember what I was talking about. Oh, so since I didn't use a die to cut out my tags, I cut them out myself. These are just very quick and clean and simple 1-layer tags, and they take no time to make. Okay, so I'm laying out the rest of my die cuts. So let's get back, Gabby there. Let's get back to our images. So I've cut out the berries and I used 3 different colors of cardstock. And again, all the cardstock that I used is by Spellbinders, and the colors will be listed down below. So I'm taking a piece of my scrap cardstock there, just putting a little bit of glue down, and then I'm just dipping my piece right into that, you know, to make it easier. Unless it's the berries, I'm going straight out. So I put the berries and the holly right where the eye would be for holidays. Again, just adds a little bit of accent, but something so quick, clean, and simple, but it's a beautiful tag. For the larger, chunkier tag, I've added some of the pines. I've layered them just to have that dimension, and I only put glue on the one end. I didn't put it all over the place. Again, I love that dimension. I love it when we have that curl in that cardstock. It adds uniqueness to the card. I took the pine cone, that's a 2-layer die, and I used a piece of the mirror cardstock as the base, and then put a brown on top of it just to give it some shine. I'm adding 2 of the holly leaves and 3 of the berries, again, coming right off the corner. I'm not going to trim that. I like the way those items hang off, so it's perfect for any gift. I'm going to be just placing my snowflakes all over, having them layer, having them be on top of each other, just having this awesome effect of snow. And no, not with splatter. I do like to call my splatter the snowfall or the snow blizzard. So again, just adding them, making sure as best as I can, making sure that no 2 shapes are next to each other, but they're going to be on the same card, but just spreading them out and having fun with the placement. And again, this is a place card. Now you're probably looking at that saying, Des, you kind of filled up that front, you know, for the name. That's okay. I have a way to solve that because I think this is prettier. Could you imagine doing a bunch of these for your table, for your holiday table? Oh, it would be awesome. It would absolutely be awesome and beautiful. And it would keep people guessing as to where they're supposed to sit. But again, I have a fix for that. So on the other side, remember, it's folded over. We've got 2 sides onto this. You can either do this to the inside or do it to the outside. As they stand at your table, they'll see the ones across the table where their name is. When they don't see it, they'll move. Right. Just add a black line with a ruler. And again, you could even do that on the inside where people would have to actually pick it up, and that would force them to look at it and admire the work that you did and the care that you put into that. So for the Merry Greeting ones, we're having fun with the poinsettias, and the gems that I've used are from the Spellbinders Card Essential Collection. These are their gems. What I love with these gem packs is there's 2 different styles of gems. Okay, so you get a portion of one style and you get a portion of another. Whether that one portion's iridescent, the other one's metallic, or the other one's clear. So it's really cool what they did, and you get multiple sizes with them. So here I'm just gluing down the leaves. I'm making sure that glue is focused to the center. Again, I like the way the cardstock will curve as we keep putting more layers onto that cardstock. I'm then going to use 3 poinsettias. I do like to work in odd numbers. So I've got 3 of the large poinsettias going over after I layered that cardstock, after I die cut them, and then I added 2 of the smaller flowers and made those pink and white. So again, I got 5. For some reason, my eye just really pulls towards odd numbers. If I would have like a 4th dark leaf on there, it would just throw me off. It's absolutely hysterical. So again, I added a line to the back. You could do this to the center, or if you can do that beautiful calligraphy, the modern calligraphy writing. I'm actually taking a course now to learn that. It's not going well at all. Then you could actually handwrite their name onto that as well and do that beautiful font. We're going to add some twine to the top of our tags. This is just some twine that I have in my stash. It's a little thick there. I usually use this when I make garlands. I love to make garlands out of cardstock images as well. Have way too much fun with that. I've shown a couple of those in my previous series. And these are the projects that we made. So we made place cards, we made tags, we made a card. How cool is that? So again, look at your dies. Don't focus on a card. See if you can create other things. You know, these little ornaments would be absolutely adorable on a small string garland. Make a cute ornament for the tree. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. And again, these are all items that I used from the 'Tis the Season collection that has now been released. I do hope you enjoy this. Again, all the products that I used will be listed down below, along if you're curious about the entire collection. If you have any questions, please leave those down below as well, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe, be part of my group here. And if you love longer videos, then please check out my Patreon, where I do have live long videos sitting there with showing all kinds of card techniques and coloring techniques. Everyone, enjoy your day, but remember what is always most important to me. Always be creative. Till the next video, guys. Take care.